What is up, guys? Random Mr. 411 here, and today I'm going to be talking about the second film in the DC Extended Universe, Suicide Squad. So Suicide Squad stars a medley of talent including Will Smith, Margot Robbie, Viola Davis, and a bunch of others. It's about when U.S. intelligence officer Amanda Waller assembles a task force of supervillains in order to prepare for if another evil Superman comes down to Earth. Alright, first things first, sorry if that was a bad plot summary. I know I'm not good at explaining plots normally, but it just was not possible here. But let's talk about that later. Anyways, I think pretty much myself and everyone else was extremely excited for Suicide Squad. The cast here alone may be pumped up, and the trailers were edited to perfection in my opinion, with the music and the overall tone and just everything. Then the reviews started coming out and I was getting a bit nervous, but that did not stop me from seeing it even if I am on vacation right now. Which, speaking of that, if the mic sounds different, it's because I didn't bring my AT2020, but I brought my snowball. Alright, enough getting sidetracked, let's focus on the movie itself, which definitely isn't perfect, but definitely doesn't deserve the score it has on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, I can confidently say that I had an extremely fun time here. First, let's talk about the actual members of the Suicide Squad. Deadshot is played by Will Smith here, and I think he does a tremendous job. Although I didn't know any of these characters before this really, I expected all of them to be pretty badass, and Deadshot definitely did not disappoint. I really dug the suit he had in the movie, and his shooting skills were absolutely superb. And all at the same time, you could feel for his character. I mean, this dude has a family, and while you do understand why he's incarcerated, you feel major empathy for him. So with all that said, I can't help but say that he was probably my favorite of the entire movie. Next, we got Harley Quinn being played by Margot Robbie, and she's great here as well. I didn't really know her backstory originally, but the way it's told in this movie, I thought it was really well done. And while I think the character of Harley Quinn herself can get annoying sometimes, that's just how she's written, and Margot Robbie plays her perfectly. And that outfit though, I mean, she's pretty cute, no lie. Anyways, Jay Hernandez from Bad Moms a week or two ago is in here as El Diablo, and I loved his character. At first, he seems like he'll just be a throwaway character because he's very reluctant to use his powers. But as things come to fruition, he becomes more integral to the story. You find out things about his character that have you gain more empathy for him, and thinking about it now, he might just be my favorite character. Might have to give it a rewatch, but it's a tight tie for now. Continuing, however, there's Jai Courtney playing this Australian guy named Captain Boomerang. And while you really don't know why a guy who throws boomerangs is a part of this task force to save the world, you still like his character because he has a ton of comedic relief here. And I just have to mention, the intro to his character was pretty damn funny. I don't know why I thought it was hilarious, but it just was for me. Anyways, Killer Croc plays this thing that evolved backwards and is held captive in the sewers. And he doesn't really get much to do here like Captain Boomerang, but again, the few lines he had me cracking up hard most of the time for pretty much no reason. And with that said, I don't really have much more to say about him, so let's just move on to Katana. She's this samurai girl from Japan, and she's there, I guess. I mean, the same can be said for the previous two characters I talked about, but they added comedic elements to their characters. But Katana's kind of just like there, doing cool-ish things, being with the group, and I mean, yeah. I would call her a throwaway character, but there's actually someone that's only in the movie for 5 minutes, does something dumb, then boom, just gone. I don't think they're in any of the promos, so I'm not gonna say who it is, but oh my goodness. And as long as we're discussing characters, let's talk about some side characters. Joel Kinnaman is the leader of this force, and they have this element which is that if he dies, then the rest of the Suicide Squad dies. So I like the relationship he had with everyone here. I thought his dynamics with everyone worked really well, and I overall really liked him as a character. Then we have Viola Davis here playing Amanda Waller, and straight up, not gonna sugarcoat it, I hated her. Like I said earlier, Viola Davis is a fantastic actress, and this character could have been so cool, but I don't think Viola Davis fits her whatsoever. Because whenever she delivers a line that's supposed to sound cool or like slick or suave, it comes off as just quirky and awkward. Moving on from her though, we've got the villainous character in the movie, Enchantress, being played by Cara Delevingne, and I don't think this role fit her well at all. She's supposed to have a relationship with Joel Kinnaman's character, who's like 14 years older than her in real life, and every time they were on screen, I just felt really uncomfortable, and it just was really awkward. I mean, it just seemed so fake, and I just couldn't get on board. And finally, the character that is stirring up the most controversy, we've got Jared Leto as the Joker. Now, he's been controversial because of the amount of screen time he has in the movie, which is roughly 20 minutes. And yeah, that is true. For the time he was in it, however, I thought he did a great job. I really liked the way he approached the Joker. Granted, I didn't see Jack Nicholson's Joker, so I don't know if he copied that, but he did not give me any Heath Ledger vibes, and I really liked his rendition overall. Alright, so I think I've covered every character that really matters, so let's just move on. This movie never really had me bored. Now, I walked into this pretty tired because I'd been in a car for some 12 hours and it was 10 o'clock at night, but I was never checking my phone, never dozing off, and I left the theater more awake than I was before. David Ayer's direction is also pretty good here. The action is fun and entertaining, and the comedy works most of the time. However, with all the compliments I've given it, this movie does have a couple of problems, and they're really big. The first of the two being the story. As I said earlier, I had trouble writing the description of the plot because I didn't really know what to say. The Suicide Squad gets assembled for a pretty much blanket reason, and the goal is just like every other superhero movie: to annihilate the big mean old villain that wants to take over the world. And this wouldn't be a huge problem if she wasn't awful. Now, don't get me wrong, Cara Delevingne, gorgeous lady, pretty good actress, I would say. I liked her in Paper Towns. Don't really remember her in anything else, but yeah, she's a talented actress. But I have to say that her villainous character was pretty much at par with the villain from X-Men Apocalypse, which was horrible, so that's not a good thing. And while we're on the topic of villains, the CGI here is pretty cringeworthy. It all just looks so artificial and fake, and the weirdest part is that the rest of the CGI in the movie that doesn't pertain to the villain looks solid. I mean, it honestly seems like they used their $175 million budget, but the scene like wasn't in there first, then they added in there like, oh no, we have no more budget. Guess we gotta resort to green screen templates online, and it's like, it's horrible to say, but I mean, it's whoa. Overall though, Suicide Squad is definitely a very flawed film, but ultimately had me entertained from beginning to end. With all that said, I'm gonna give Suicide Squad a C+. Thank you all so much for watching this extremely long review, and if you made it to the end, I really do appreciate it. And until my next review, I'm Random Mr. 411, and I will see you all later.
What up? What up? What up? It's Indy. Man, it's all really good.